It is crazy. We are at the second to last month of 2024, heading into the end of year holiday season. It's a great time. And this month for sneakers, I feel like it's very top heavy. There are some absolute gems and heavy hitters this month. But apart from those, I feel like it's kind of a quiet and boring month. But there's still some shoes that I really want for the month of November. So I'm here to go over which ones I want. And disclaimer, release dates for sneakers are very, very fluid. They change all the time. Sneakers that you don't even know about will get pushed to November that I still don't know about. Some sneakers that were supposed to release in November, they're gonna get pushed back. So if these dates change, blame the companies, not me. Here we go. Now first it is the KD4 dropping on November 20th for $130. Now 2024 does seem like quietly the year of KD4s. It's been a bunch of very iconic KD4 colorways that have returned this year. The Nerfs, the Arm Pearls, the Galaxies, the Weathermans as well. The KD4s aren't as popular as they once were. A lot of the people that grew up with KD4s are older now, so it doesn't have that kind of youthful hype behind them. But there's still a lot of great KD4 colorways that brings back a lot of nostalgia. And this colorway originally dropped on Christmas Eve in 2011, back when he was still with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it is inspired by cookie cutters, so you don't see the traditional kind of red and green colors that you see on other Christmas colorways. So it's got this very unique copper color on the upper with special branded insoles. It's actually a very unique colorway, and the KD4 does come with a 5-long midsole just with a Zoom Air in the forefoot, none in the heel. I've done in-depth performance reviews for a bunch of KD4s. Performance-wise in 2024, there's many better other options, I believe, than this shoe, but due to the nostalgia and the pretty iconic status that the KD4 has as part of his signature shoes, this shoe definitely had to make my list. Next up, it is the Jordan 4 Fair that is dropping on November 16th for $215. Now, this shoe, it originally dropped as part of the Fair pack that came out in 2013. The other shoe as part of the pack was the Jordan 3s, which actually returned last year. And the Fair pack was inspired by the Becoming Legendary campaign that had Michael Jordan say the quote, very ice cold quote, "I fear what I won't become. You fear what I could become." Just hearing MJ say that like as the voiceover in that campaign. Oh, if you haven't seen it, definitely search it up on YouTube. It is still up. It is just goosebumps. So this shoe features a pretty monotone or monochromatic type of colorway, just black and gray, and it heavily features nubuck on the shoe. Now, just like the Jordan 3s from last year, they don't actually have that special quote on the insoles like it did in 2013. They've decided to put that quote on the box itself, so they switched up a little bit, and I don't know why. Now I've actually already got the shoe in hand. I have recorded my review already for this shoe. So if you want to know my detailed thoughts on this shoe, definitely keep an eye out for that video. Now overall, I think this is a pretty decent Jordan 4. And what's pretty distinct about this shoe is that pattern that is on the midsole with that kind of gradient on the midsole. Compared to the Jordan 3 Fair, I think that was a little bit more unique with the orange accents going through the shoe. Kind of gives it a more Halloween type of vibe, playing into the whole fair theme. I think I like this shoe, but I don't absolutely love it. Next up, it is the Clot Adidas Gazelle Collegiate Navy that is dropping on November 11th for $160. Now, I'm not sure if it's like absolutely confirmed that November 11th is going to be the release date. There's not a ton of information and like official images of this shoe out yet, but this is the date so far. And this is a follow-up to the Clot Gazelles that was inspired by Spanish espadrilles that came out earlier this year. I reviewed that shoe, a very, very unique type of shoe. And unlike a lot of past Nike and Jordan brand collaborations, Clot's not exactly sticking like a ton of Clot branding onto the shoe itself. I think what Edison Chen is going for is a bit more sophisticated and a bit more mature look in his future collaborations. Now this shoe is on a very iconic and very classic and timeless silhouette, the Gazelle OG, but they did use the Gazelle indoor sole for this shoe, and it looks to feature a mix of nubuck and suede. It still has some Clot elements, so it does use like beads on the stripes. It does look to feature Clot branding on the insoles, as well as these ribbon-like decorated laces. This is just one out of two colorways for the shoe. The other one is more like off-white, more cream colored. I think I prefer this Collegiate Navy a little bit more. I think it pops a little bit better. Now overall, I'm not like a huge fan of the Adidas Gazelle, but I think the colorway of the shoe really kind of won me over. This Collegiate Navy is so clean, and that material, hopefully it's like really nice suede and nubuck. Yeah, it looks good. I do like how that looks. Next, it is the Jordan 9 Olive that is dropping on November 9th for $210. This is, of course, an OG colorway. The Jordan 9 first released while MJ was playing baseball during his first retirement. Now, this colorway specifically came back in 2002, 2012 as well, that had like just the weirdest shape. People did not like that retro. It then came back in 2017 as like a winter version of the shoe. And actually remember last year there was like that olive Concord colorway. Now it's finally back to its original form, featuring nubuck on the overlays, as well as black leather and red accents throughout. I'm not a huge lover of Jordan 9s. It looks a bit too boots-like. Obviously that's what it's going for, but it's just a bit too much for me. But I do love olive. That is one of my favorite colors. And if you don't know why, go check out my video for the Jordan 4 olives that came out last year. I explain why in detail, but I love olive overall on shoes, and I like this Jordan 9. Is it as good as the OG powder blue colorway that came back this year? Or was it last year? Sometime in between? I don't know. I think that powder blue is super clean, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Next, it is the Jumpman Jack Dark Mocha that is dropping on November 13th for $200. Now I've seen November 13th as well as 16th for this shoe. Not quite sure what it is. I feel like the release date might change on this shoe. It wouldn't really surprise me. And of course, the Jumpman Jack, it is Travis Scott silhouette with Jordan Brand. I do kind of wish they would stop making Jordan 1 Travis Scott collaborations and just focus on the Jumpman Jack. I think that was the whole point of him getting his own shoe. And the Jumpman Jack, I actually really like as a silhouette. Obviously you see the Air Trainer 1 inspiration, and I still maintain to this day that the Air Trainer 1 now in 2024 is one of those very underrated silhouettes. Now this Jumpman Jack does look to feature a canvas-based layer with suede overlays, and of course you'll see Travis Scott branding on the booty as well as Jack on the outsole. And this dark mocha color is it just works so well. Like on the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Mocha, just one of the best shoes in recent memory. The Jordan 1 Mochas in general, just delicious as well. It's a very, very nice color on a shoe. And pairing it up with black, oh, as a black sneaker lover, and as I'm getting older, I love brown shoes more and more. This is nice. This is really nice. I don't think I've ever reviewed a Travis Scott shoe on my channel before. They're just like super expensive, impossible to get. Never had a chance to review it, and hopefully this time I'll break my Travis Scott review virginity for this colorway. Next up, it is the Jordan 14 Black Toe that is dropping on November 2nd for $210. This is a shoe that I've already reviewed, so if you want to know more details of that shoe, definitely check out my video. But it is an OG colorway. I think one of the best OG colorways for the Jordan 14. It did come back in 2006 with the rib texture that you see on other Jordan 14s. And then in 2014, it came back as well. And this time, after a decade, it's back again. Just like the Jordan 9 Olives, this is an OG colorway. It just does mean a little bit more when it's an OG colorway. Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls, all that tie-in and nostalgia, it really does matter. And this shoe features a white base layer. And in my review, I go over why I'm not a huge fan of that leather, but quick preview, it's stiff, kind of looks artificial, and then it also features synthetic suede on the toe box. I'll be honest, just in terms of the materials itself on the shoe, I was kind of expecting something really premium, especially at $210, a very special colorway for the Jordan 14. I felt a little disappointed, but just off the strength of this colorway alone, on that Jordan 14 silhouette, I think it looks very sleek. I love it. If you're interested in this shoe, check out my review. I go over like the quality and the materials, design, inspiration, all that in detail. And at number 2, it is the Jordan 3 Black Cement that is dropping on November 23rd for $220. On any other given month, this shoe probably would have been number 1. But once you see my number 1, you'll understand why. Now the Black Cement is of course an OG colorway, one of the best shoes just in general, just forever in history of sneakers. Absolutely delicious, scrumptious. And this colorway is the one that Michael Jordan wore in the 1988 All-Star Game. And earlier, this was supposed to be a Jordan 3 Reimagine. So I think they were gonna pre-age it and put like sail on the sole. And thank God, thank all the gods that they didn't do that. They're just going with the original form for the shoe, just the original colorway like we're used to. And it's delicious. This features an all leather upper, and the leather does look pretty nice on the shoe, at least just judging from images. And of course, you get that very distinct elephant print on the heel as well as the mudguard. I haven't got the shoe in hand yet, but I will get it soon. I will make a review of the shoe very soon as well. And I think most definitely it's going to make my top 10 sneakers of 2024 as a black sneaker lover. I love this colorway. Jordan 3s, I think no one dislikes the Jordan 3s. This is one of those shoes that will forever get me excited whenever it comes back. And at number 1, I reviewed this shoe very recently. there could be no other shoe, and number one on this list for this month, it is the Wu-Tang Clan Nike Dunk High. It's dropping on November 9th for $150. This shoe I already reviewed very recently. It is my personal grail, my favorite shoe of all time. It's a very personal shoe for me, and if you want to know why, definitely check out my review. I go through it in detail, a quick high-level summary. This shoe originally came out in 1999 only for promotional and marketing purposes, so it wasn't available to the general public. In 2016, Nike was thinking about bringing it back ahead of 2018, which would have been the 25th year anniversary of their debut album, Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. This legendary, iconic, classic, I have no other words, masterpiece, one of the best albums ever. That never came to fruition, and this year, finally, they got the go-ahead to release it to the general public, and I couldn't be happier. Now, 36 people will get the special release of the shoe. Comes with a very special box with a candle inside as well. Most people will not get that, but even as the general release, I'm very happy that I have my hands on this shoe. And this shoe features an all-leather upper. It is a Nike Dunk High Premium, so it's slightly more expensive, and the materials are actually slightly better than like the very generic polyurethane coated plastic filling nonsense that you get on a lot of Nike Dunks. So at least they slightly upped the quality of the shoe. Of course, the most distinct thing about it is the Wu-Tang emblem that is embroidered on the heel, as well as the Wu-Tang tag at the top of the tongue. Apart from that, there's not too many references and nods to Wu-Tang, and in my review I go over a few things that I kind of was let down by as part of this whole experience of getting this shoe. But overall, still, just the fact that I have this shoe in hand, that I'm able to get it, finally, yeah. If I could get no other shoe in November, just this one. Honestly, if I could get no other shoe in 2024 in general, and just this one, I'd still be satisfied. So that's it. Thanks for watching. So inclined. Let me know what shoes you think are absolute must-haves on this list, what shoes I left out, and what shoes you think are garbage. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.